So last night in Reaper's Live, I heard she had a whole lot to say about a whole lot of nothing. This is how she addressed the allegations about her lying about stage 4 inflammatory breast cancer.
I will not be discussing any of this. This is not what my live stream is about. This is not what my channel is about. The last thing I will say on this is plain and simple. This happened way before I had a channel.
February of 2020, you said you were diagnosed a month prior. March of 2020, you claimed you were cured. Here you started your channel September of 2022, which is roughly about 29 months. I think that's 2 years, 5 months. I guess we have a difference in opinion on what a long time is. Anyways, why does it matter?
I never asked anybody for anything. Never asked you guys for help.
Your gaslighting is insane. You had a GoFundMe with an endless amount.
Even brought it up as a subject for help. It happened. I brought it up because I was trying to support somebody who was going through something similar, and that's how it came out. That's it.
No, it came out when you were trying to call someone else out for faking cancer.
And this is speaking from somebody who actually survived stage 4 inflammatory breast cancer. I can say that with stage 4 cancer, you're not able to sit in front of a computer and scream and yell at your camera for 2.
What was that you just said?
I can say that with stage 4 cancer, you're not able to sit in front of a computer and scream and yell at your camera for 2.
Really? You can't? Cray. That's almost exactly what the oncology nurse I spoke to said.
Now, I've never seen a patient who was at this stage of cancer and the longevity of it able to do what was it, a podcast or whatever it may be, and also not be treated. That's just ridiculous.
That you claim I made up. People really don't have to go very far. You debunk yourself, like you did right here.
That's it. If you want to listen to somebody who does not know me and is putting a, I'm going to say quote unquote fake doctor saying that they know that I'm lying or this and that, a doctor would never say this about a patient that they have never examined and never seen medical records for.
Lies. You're trying to twist things to make them sound correct so later when you're confronted you can be like, I didn't say that. No, lies. A doctor would never discuss a single patient that he has not treated or diagnosed. But what he will do is speak out on unfounded, undocumented information. When a successful treatment comes out, it goes through a multi-layer process involving scientific publications, government-regulated bodies, and trusted health organizations. It's a big deal. Ultimately, it's all sent to NCI where it's posted. That's where they publish major news about cancer and successful trials. Medical journals. Do you know how many doctors would write thesis and papers on the first woman to have ever been cured from stage 4 IBC in 2 months? Anyways, the FDA would have some sort of documentation from it. Accredited cancer associations like ACS and CSI. You'd probably be right up top with a read here sticker saying, read first, fucking miracle.
I deal with that in my private life enough. My YouTube channel is for me to get away from all of what I deal with in my personal life, medical and whatever else. So I will not be discussing that. But
We should have took bets. Is anyone surprised? It's the same answer she gave when asked to discuss the RICO case with LR. She's not at liberty to discuss it, or she will not be discussing it. I'd probably give a similar answer if I was caught lying to hundreds of people about having stage 4 inflammatory breast cancer.
oh, and just last thing, I will not be releasing any medical records. These people, that person has already altered and edited a dismissed and closed court record of mine. If I put out any kind of medical records, they will do the same to that. So no, I won't be releasing anything. So now let's...
No, bitch. You blamed Kim and Itty for fucking changing that police report. There was an FTA on it. It was a fucking clerical error. Tracy Unfiltered called your clerk of court, and they fucking said it on video.
She would say, I don't have to.
That's because she doesn't have proof of jack shit.
Correct.
Unless she makes it up. So that altered court record of mine that was out, the altered court record was on her hate page on me.
I know. Liars are confusing. I'll reiterate. First, it was on Reddit. It was Itty who asked Kim Rhea to change the document for her. Then, in that live, the target was Itty. So it was Itty who made a hate page and changed the document and put it there. The other night in her live, it's now me who changed this document and put it out. Well, the truth is nobody changed it. She's a liar, knows that no one changed it, but uses this court document to target people and play this narrative. It's been proven and put out there, and she still uses it. It's kind of embarrassing.
It was just a clerical error, and we didn't take it out of the system until later on.
Gotcha. Okay. She had made claims that somebody altered this document and that the FTA review with that court date was not actually something that she ever had, and that made claims against people saying that they were altering court documents. So I was very curious about that. Okay.
Oh, okay. No, I mean, nobody's alternating anything. It's just, and she didn't come to court for that day. It's just that in our system, it was a court date that was left that just did get took off, and we finally caught it.
Okay. Okay, great. Alrighty.
If you want to listen to somebody who does that, who heavily edits everything about me, then by all means, listen to them.
Explain heavily edits. Do you mean I use your words, statements you make, and put them together with other statements that you make that are usually a direct opposite? That's not heavily editing someone. They're your statements. Now, I understand you being upset because you have been caught in so many lies, but that's not my problem. Become a better liar, I guess. Nothing has changed. I take them directly from your live. I keep the live date on there so people can go and verify it for themselves. This way to catch a liar has always been to use their own words against them. But for some reason, you think that you can argue your own bullshit. And nobody asked you to put your medical records out. You could have put out a case study, the drug that cured stage 4 IBC in the workup, the breaking news. There are dozens upon dozens of things that you could have put out. But that would be if you had it and there was a cure. You lied. You fucking lied about having inflammatory breast cancer.
I don't care. I really don't. I can't sit here and force anybody to believe me or listen to me. But I can tell you one thing. I did not fake it. I did not lie about it. People who do are fucking disgusting. There is no reason for me to fake it or lie about it. What am I getting out of that? Not a fucking thing. I will not discuss my health issues on my channel because that's not what this is about.
And remember, she said this.
Hear a creator actually say, I am so credible, I don't have to show proof anymore. That's when you need to start questioning. Nobody is that credible. You should always show proof regardless.
Alarming new studies highlighting the dangers of smoking, especially for women. One suggesting that longtime smokers who develop breast cancer have tripled the risk of dying from that disease. Dr. Erica Hamilton is an oncologist and associate director of the breast cancer program at the Sarah Cannon Research Institute. Good to have you with us this morning, Dr. Hamilton.
Thank you so much for having me, Erica.
So this one study in particular, this isn't about, we know that there is an increased risk for breast cancer if you smoke. This is not about smoking as a cause for breast cancer. This is about the survival rate if you're a smoker and you develop breast cancer.
That's exactly right. So the link between smoking and developing breast cancer really hasn't been as well defined as smoking and some other type of cancers like lung, pancreas, and kidney cancer. You're exactly right. This study didn't look at whether smoking causes women to develop breast cancer, but instead looked at those women who smoke that have breast cancer are 3 times more likely to die of their breast cancer than those who don't.
And that's really high. It also looked at the length of time that women smoked. And I'm guessing that the longer you smoke, the greater the impact.
Right. Specifically in this group, that if you smoked for more than 20 years or 2 decades, you are at particularly high risk of dying from your disease.
So one thing clarify for us here. Was this women in the study who were still currently smoking when they developed breast cancer? Or does this apply if you smoked for 20 years, quit, and then got breast cancer? Does this also affect your survival rate?
That's a good question. And in this particular study, it was women that were still currently smoking. And so I think this just reaffirms for us that there's no time that's too late to quit smoking. And I think it's encouraging for anybody that is smoking to still have that motivation to quit smoking now.
Well, and then there's this separate study, which was really surprising to me. So as we're seeing overall smoking rates in the country decline, which is a good thing as we know for our health.
Exactly.
There's this separate piece that young women between the ages of 18 to 25 are very light smokers. And that's defined as 5 or fewer cigarettes a day, which seems actually kind of high.
Right. I think this is the kind of social smoking phenomenon. This particularly was 5 cigarettes a lesser day, or not even smoking cigarettes every day, but occasionally. And these women were still at very high risk. So I think, we've seen, particularly in the news over the past several years, that alcohol in moderation, 1 drink a day or less, is not necessarily bad for your health and may even be protective against things like heart disease. But for smoking, I think this just reaffirms that no amount is safe. Any smoking is too much.
And any smoking, especially for a woman, can, as we're knowing now, can have this effect, because even if you consider yourself this very light smoker, that could still affect you with things like breast cancer later on, right?
Exactly. And I think what's dangerous about this very light smoking is that when they go to see their doctor, they may not even consider themselves smokers because they don't smoke every day.